Callum has asked, what kind of timescale are we talking for negotiating trade deals once we leave the EU to their implementation?
Trade agreements usually take several years to negotiate and then be implemented. So, for example, the EU-Canada agreement, which kind of came into provisional implementation last year, negotiations for that started in 2009. So it was kind of an 8-year period from the start of negotiations to, it's not fully implemented yet, but to the start of the implementation. And that's not unusual in terms of the length of time trade deals take. So, when people talk about, getting a new deal with Europe or getting a deal with the US in a matter of months or years, a few years, that's not going to happen. We're talking, 5 years, a decade for these issues to be sorted out. They are very complicated, long agreements that take time.
Mm-hmm. And that sounds like it's a good thing that it takes a long. Well, it depends how you read it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, pros and cons, I guess, yes, right? In that, on the one hand, sometimes you worry that people are kind of slowing down the negotiation just to make things drag out a little and just kind of not really getting on with it. And I think particularly for negotiations over future UK-EU relations, because they are going to be so important, that will probably go a little bit quicker than a trade negotiation normally would, because it's going to be given a lot of political priority, particularly in the UK. Right? The reason you don't want to happen too quickly, though, is, these are complex agreements. You don't want to get it wrong, right? If you're agreeing to change your regulation on, plant safety rules, you need to go and consult with the people that's going to affect to understand what that rule is going to do. You need to consult, you need the public to be able to have an input into the process. And this all takes time to kind of gather this information. Your negotiating partner has to do the same thing. You then have to reach a deal. And, when we negotiate our future relationship with the EU, even once the European Union has agreed it, all the individual member countries then have to sign off on it. And that can take, several extra years on top of the negotiation period. So there's a lot that has to happen.
Okay.